Alright, this next video will be for how to show doors and windows, how to place them in there. This was a request also from quite a few students. So I'm going to show you how to place some doors on the interior walls. And it's the same process on the exterior. And then I'll place some window or two on the exterior. So the first thing you want to do, of course, have your doors and windows wall lines showing up, and then decide where you want these doors or windows. So we'll go with a window, and the first thing is make sure you have a layer for windows. So you want to separate everything out. We'll go ahead and make that layer active. And what we're going to do at first is we're going to decide where the one side of the window is going to be. So we'll go ahead and start just an arbitrary line with snaps on here and ortho on. And then I'm going to set a 4-foot window. So I'm going to do an offset, enter, and I'm going to type in 4 feet, and then I'm going to do an offset to one side here. So there is the start of the window, and this is how you get it going. And then the next thing would be is to trim out everything. So TR, enter, and then I'll just start selecting the lines that I want trimmed out. First the control lines, and then the wall lines will be trimmed out next. So once we have that done, we can go and select our window, and this is again a 4-foot opening, and I believe this window is already at 4 feet. We have some controls as we select this block, different directions for the way we want that to look or to function. And then also we have a distance, and that one I believe says 3 feet, so we'll go ahead and set that to 4 foot since our opening is 4 foot, and that expands it out to 4 feet. And I believe that was the max. No, it actually will go out further. It will go out to a 5-foot window, so we can do 4.5 or max at 5. And so the next thing is just to do the move command on it, select it, enter. Now the base point that you're picking, the command line says the base point is important because you want to snap this into a specific area. So what I do typically, once I have my cut lines and my opening all set, I snap into the midpoint of this window. I'll turn ortho off, I'll keep snaps on, and then I'll come into this midpoint here. Now, you probably can't quite see that. Let me just change colors or layers on it really quick. So if I zoom in now, you can see that this window is not as wide as my exterior. I think my exterior walls are 5 inches thick. So I have to do an adjustment on that. Again, selecting this, and I'm going to take this now and I'm going to pull this back, and that's what happens. Control Z. And let's try the other end of this. Alright, so we'll have to do the move command on this again, and enter, and grab the lower portion and snap it back to here. And now we can select it again and use the arrow. And this time it should cooperate and open up to the 5-inch width on that. So that is how you set it in there. Again, I'll go ahead and select it and put it on the correct layer. And now we have a 5-inch wide window with a 4-foot opening, and that's set in there just fine. So the next thing we'll show you is a door, which is very similar to that. You can see I've already put some doors in this model exercise. One of the things I want to point out is the hatching on flooring. Notice the hatching on this flooring here goes right up to the midpoint of the door, the threshold. If you look at most houses are built like that, where the flooring will meet as the door closes. That door will be right over the top of that the threshold, so you won't see really where the flooring ends and begins with different flooring. So that is typically a little bit off. I could have gone a little bit further, but that's about how it would be at midpoint. All right. So with that said, what you want to do before you You can put your doors in first, that's no problem, but you want to turn them off and then set a control line for that hatching to go through or up to. So I'm going to show you that in this portion here. So we'll take this room here, whatever it is, and we'll go ahead and put a door in here. I'll enter again, and I'm just going to pick an arbitrary place. Let me go ahead and change layers here to doors. I'll enter. And ortho on, and this time I'm going to do a 2.5 foot door. So O enter, and 2.5 feet. Enter, and then select this line, and I'm going to go this way with it, I guess. I actually want that a little closer to the wall. That would typically want a door opening. If you're opening it to the inside of a bedroom and then opening against the wall is a lot better. So I'll go ahead and do the move on these two as well. And I'll go ahead and snap into this point. And I don't want to quite bring it over there. Let me turn ortho on again. Turn snaps off this time. And I want to bring it to about right there. And I guess it didn't like that. So let me try to move again. Select it and enter. And bring that over to about right there. And that will be good. Alright, so typically this will be 3 or 4 inches. That might be a little bit big, but your door swing typically coming into a room will swing against the wall. That's for efficiency. Again, TR to trim it out. And trim the control lines, and then of course your opening. Now, before I set that door, well, I can go ahead and set it, then I can turn it off and show you. We have a door here, and we'll go ahead and grab this door as a block, and we'll see if it goes that small. Again, selecting it, and I'm going to do a move on this, and snaps back on, and select it there, and I'm not sure if we'll go to a 4-inch. Yes, it will. So a 4-inch opening on that, and then, and I just put it in the wrong place as I was talking to you. I was telling you it's more efficient to have it against one wall, opening against one wall. So now I'll do another move on this to get it back into place. And now the next thing would be, obviously it's way too big, so selecting this, and then we will come on this arrow here. This, you can see it there, and you can hover over it. It says 3/4, and let's see if we can get it. Yeah, we should be able to get it as small as 2.5 feet. And again, I'm swinging the wrong way on that, so I can adjust the swing on that, and now it will open properly to the inside against the wall, and so that's complete. Now, if we're to do hatching right now, it would go around this block. And we know like I said, you can look at any house built that the flooring material, if it changes if you have carpeting, let's say, on this room and then hardwoods on there, it will change about midpoint on the threshold. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the 0 layer to draw this line. L enter, and ortho on. I'm going to come right across midpoint here and just make an arbitrary line. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn the doors off, and I just thought of something. It may hatch, the hatch may go right through that with that turned off. So I'm going to leave this on for now, and I'm going to go ahead and get my hatch layer for flooring. And I had one for the kitchen. Let's see, kitchen flooring. So make that active, and then I'll go ahead and select the hatch. And I'm going to use a little bit different hatch pattern on this, and I'm going to use, if I can find it, something like this, like a wood flooring maybe. So I'll select it, and then I'm going to select that area there. So that way it does not go through the door block. It does not go through the door, but I have that entire room hatched. And now, of course, just selecting it and go to my properties, and I can change that through there. And the properties are right there. So I go to pattern scale, and I'll change that to 100. And it's way too big, and I'll go down to 25, and it's getting closer, and 20. It looks more like wood panels on there. But there again, I have this hatch pattern, and this is supposed to be a solid core or hollow core door, but this is the core of it. And this is just the swing pattern, so it's okay to go through that, but you don't want to see it going through that door. If we select that door now and we did a close on that, we would definitely see that right across the threshold there. So that works out real well. So that's how you place doors, windows, and interior doors on that as well. So don't forget that threshold area when you're doing the hatching on that, and that's doors and window placement and how to do the openings. All right, as always, any questions, please email me, or we can talk on next week on this and more. Hopefully this was helpful, and I will talk to you all later. Have a great weekend.